Two of Wands. Twos of any suit are often about balance. It will be important for you to keep your balance in every way that you can, even to the mundane, boring things like eating right and getting enough rest. These things will be very helpful to you during this time. The Two of Wands also often indicates a partnership with one other person. This can be business or personal, or both. In general, the Two of Wands reminds us to stay mindful of the give and take required for all successful relationships. If things are feeling out of balance for you in general now, know that they are about to get substantially better. Keep your eyes on the prize that you are looking for, metaphorically, and remain or get positive. Work. You're about to fit things together in new or unusual ways. Work is about to get a lot smoother, and if you're looking for employment, you are about to find the right fit. Don't let anyone knock you off your stride. You're more together and balanced than you might realize, work-wise. Love. If you're already in a relationship, it's about to get a lot more equal. Pay attention to your ideas about equality and balance and share them. If you're looking for love, someone who could be very good for you is already likely part of your life. Don't judge a book by its cover. If someone is interested in you, give them a chance. This relationship could be just what you're looking for. Finances. Your income and outgoing is moving toward a better state of balance. The Two of Wands indicates fairness and equality. Don't hesitate to ask for what you are truly due or worth. You are likely to be pleasantly surprised by how much you can improve your financial situation. Health. The theme of balance particularly holds true for this card in terms of health. Energy work aimed at balancing your chakras and/or your body/mind/spirit is particularly effective and helpful health-wise now. Are you paying adequate attention to all three? If not, now's the time. The benefits are far greater than any effort you can put out. Your health is most likely in better shape than you fear. Spirituality. A spiritual partnership with just one other person may be greatly beneficial to you now. Remember too that you are also always spiritually in partnership with yourself as well. Remember to take time and space to care well for yourself spiritually and emotionally. This is an essential ingredient to having spiritually successful relationships with others. Start with yourself. Tarot history. The history of the tarot is shrouded in mystery. Very little in the way of concrete information is known about its origin, although many things have been written about it. We will probably never know the truth, as fact and fiction seem to be irrevocably mixed nowadays. The tarot originated in northern Italy in the early 15th century, sometime between 1420 to 1440. Despite the fact that it is often attributed to originating from China, Egypt, India, or Morocco, to name just a few, there is absolutely no evidence that this is the case. Nor, as is often quoted, is there any evidence whatsoever that the tarot was brought to Europe by the Romanis. The name tarot is often attributed to being Egyptian, Hebrew, or Latin. This is not the case. The earliest names are all Italian in origin. The cards were originally called carte de triomphe. Around 1530 the word tarocchi began to be used to differentiate them from a new game of triumphs that was in vogue at the time. The etymology of this new word is unknown. The German variant was known as tarot and the French tarot. The symbolism for the tarot is drawn from the culture of medieval and Renaissance Europe. The tarot subjects are distinctive to European Christendom. The symbolism does not come from Egypt or any of the other exotic locales often mentioned. It is often stated that modern-day playing cards evolved from the tarot. This is not the case. Modern-day playing cards came to Europe courtesy of Islam. They were an adaptation of the Islamic Mamluk cards. They appeared quite suddenly in many different European cities between 1375 and 1378. These early cards had suits of cups, swords, coins, and polo sticks, and courts consisting of a king and 2 male underlings. The tarot adds the Fool, the trumps, and a set of queens to this system. Sometime before 1480, the French introduced cards with the now familiar suits of hearts, clubs, spades, and diamonds. The Joker is not original to either the early form of modern-day cards, or to the tarot, but instead originated in the USA around 1857 and was used as a wild card in poker as well as the highest trump in euchre. It is also often stated that the Catholic and Protestant churches outlawed the tarot and all who used it in an effort to stamp out so-called heretical teachings. This is not the case. The Inquisition documented what the Church considered as evidence of heresy in great detail. The tarot was not even mentioned. After the Reformation, less controversial images for the Pope and Papess were substituted by card makers as the Church had objected to the original images. It is often said that the tarot was not used as a divination tool prior to 1781. The tarot was used as early as the 16th century to compose poems describing personality characteristics. There is historical evidence that in one case at least these verses were presented as relating to the person's fate. In other words, divination. Divinatory meanings were assigned to the tarot in Bologna in the early 1700s, and this is the first unambiguous evidence of tarot divination. Ordinary playing cards were connected with divination as early as 1487. It is not unreasonable to think that the tarot was also. The tarot has often been attributed with being a pillar of Western esoterica occultism. This is certainly not the case. The first occult writers to discuss the tarot were Court de Gabellin and the Comte de Mellet in 1781. The tarot was not mentioned in any occult work for the first 350 years of its existence. The terms Major Arcana, Minor Arcana, High Priestess, and Hierophant are anachronistic when referring to the older tarot decks. The historically appropriate terms are the Trumps and the Fool, the suit cards, Papess or Popess, and Pope. Likewise, Pentacles and Wands are relatively recent substitutions for the traditional suit names of coins and staves or batons. The original Italian titles of the cards were in some cases different from the later French titles that have become familiar to us through the Tarot de Marseille and its descendants. Also, the ordering of the trumps varied considerably in Italy where the cards originated. It is not known which ordering is the earliest one. Even the number of cards in the deck varied a great deal. So care should be used in making statements about the original meaning of the cards based on the familiar titles and ordering. Many believe that the Waite-Smith Tarot is the original, standard, or most authentic tarot deck in existence. This is absolutely untrue. The Waite-Smith/Rider-Waite deck was created in 1909. Not even 100 years ago, making it a relative newcomer in the almost 600-year history of the tarot. There is actually no definitive version of the tarot.